And there's a lot of argument about that. People are not sure what's exactly.
You have to
the
have a
position
connection
is.
charge. There's going to be a connection charge
Of 500 naira.
What I don't know what the figure is, but
Well, I
you
do.
see, yes, the meters are supposed to be given to you, okay, because it's an instrument of transaction, efficient transaction between you and the
power
consumer.
holding.
Yes,
Yeah.
so that is what we expect should
The
be happening.
cost was 25,000 for one phase and 55 for three phase.
Yes.
But we hear that those costs no longer exist.
They eliminated, yes. But what has happened is that in the past, people paid for these meters, and some people are complaining they didn't even get the meters.
Yeah,
And
many
so
have paid and haven't got
and
them.
so we are working on making sure that those people who paid must get their meters.
But not their money.
No, I mean, this is a paradigm that is established now that must work.
Okay.
Okay.
Manitoba.
Yes. What about Manitoba?
Well, they complained about Manitoba as well, that Manitoba supplies power to about 750,000 people where they're coming from, and you're handing over to them to supply power or distribute, I beg your pardon, power to millions of Nigerians.
Yeah.
They don't think that Manitoba is competent, and even if you wanted to hand the company over to market women, his words, you were free to do so, but you must settle them first. You can't.
This settled them. Of course, you know where this settling them is about. Okay? Manitoba Hydro is an international company. It's a very highly respected company world over. They operate in so many countries of the world. And after competitive process, the Bureau of Public Enterprises National Council on Privatization chose Manitoba Hydro to manage.
Nothing to do with Barth Nnaji. It was BPE who selected Manitoba.
I have no idea who Manitoba. In fact, the process started before I even came in near government. It started in 2007. Was I minister in 2007? Was I even advisor? Was I in the task force? All those things got established from 2010. By that time, Manitoba Hydro, Power Grid of India, and an Irish company were the bidders for the Nigerian power grid. And so the process was suspended, and then when we wanted to now restart the process, those companies were also invited back. So anybody that is, in fact, what is their chant is Barth Nnaji is doing this, Barth Nnaji is doing. Of course, I understand, and I have no problem with whatever they say. They can say I stole a cow. That's okay. Anything they say.
No, we're being wound down now. They're threatening to go on strike.
No, so let me just finish on the Manitoba Hydro.
Yes.
The Manitoba Hydro, they're only bringing 8 staff members to take over certain key positions. And those who were occupying the positions are deputizing them. What we are really wanting to do is let us bring best practice to Nigeria. Let us ensure that in fact, I say Transmission Company of Nigeria ultimately can have Transmission Company of Nigeria International, just like Manitoba International. So we can sell our services. We can become as proficient as they are. Why would we resist learning something? Why would we resist bringing best practice to Nigerian power grid? Is it better that we continue to have power failures and grid collapses? I thought it is better that we have efficient management of the grid and a reduction in all manner of inefficiencies. And the people who are there, the senior management, they understand. Okay. They are not opposed to having this, except people who are benefiting from it.
Okay, well unfortunately...
Threatening to go on strike on Wednesday. Your comment about that. Are they allowed to go on strike? Are they not essential services?
They're essential services.
Yeah.
It's in the law of the land. There's even a Supreme Court ruling against it. They are not supposed to go on strike.
Okay.
Yeah. So essentially, if people decide to go on strike, we will have to find a way to address that issue.
There's another meeting, another negotiation coming up next week, is there?
Yes, the NLC and government, because at this point now we are going to ask Mr. President to raise government team to do the negotiation, so that all aspects will be.
All right. Unfortunately, we do not have any more time. Would have loved to go on because there's so many issues that we should be raising on the power sector. But your final word as we round, we've got to wrap up now. One word in terms of what's the way forward.
Way forward is we're asking the union to think about Nigeria first. If they think about Nigeria first, this problem will be easily solved.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We've been speaking with Professor Barth Nnaji, who is the Minister of Power, and we're hoping that over the next few days, just before Wednesday, there will be somebody who will blink and the decision will be taken that yes, we should have power being sustained in Nigeria. And we also understand that PHCN is improving, actually. So thank you very much, Prof. It's great to have you on Sunrise this morning.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
So we'll be back shortly. Please don't go away.